All right, guys, more fencing. We're going to be stretching this fence. We got a roll of it over there, another roll by the truck. People call it hog wire, cattle fence. It just depends where you're at, I guess. But the last time we put the post in, we got our post in all the way down. We're gonna do this run. It's about 70 foot if I remember. I did not put a post in the middle. I just drove a 6-foot one in because I didn't want to dig and tear up all the roots to this tree, and I didn't want to dig through the roots. So first step is we're gonna get our tape measure. We're gonna pull this, we're gonna measure it so that I can cut the fence to this length. So I don't have to, the fence is heavy. The roll is a couple 100 pounds. It's a couple 100 pounds for the roll, so you didn't want to hassle with it. If you got a tractor, yeah, but I don't got one for here. So I'm gonna get the fence, I'm gonna cut it, lay it out, and I'll bring you guys back once I got it cut and rolled out. You just get yourself one of them, call it tape measure. It's like a string tape measure, or it's long. You need about 100 foot to 2, 3. It depends what runs you're gonna do, how long you're gonna run it. And when I cut it, the way I'm gonna roll it up is when I put it on the fence, it wants to roll a certain way. So I want it to roll towards the fence that I'm doing instead of outwards. It helps out a lot. Because we'll put it on this post, we'll staple it where we want it nice and straight. And the natural curve in it will want to curve in towards the post. And then we'll go all the way down there. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, that scraggly tree down there. I'll probably hook a chain, and then I have a strap. We'll hook a strap and come along in between so we can pull the fence that way. I mean, technically I could probably get my truck back through here, but there's been stuff that was burnt over in this corner, and it has nails, and I haven't got it cleaned all out, so we'll pass on that. So let's get everything set up, and I'll come right back to you. All right, guys, I got my bucket of tools, handy dandy fence shooting staple gun, because I don't want to be hand nailing it. You can, but that's easier. Angle grinder, because I'm going to cut the fence. You have to, if you don't have that, you got to use like a mini pair of bolt cutters or really strain. I got my little helper out there, little golden doodle. Looks like she's taking a dump, but we'll get you down here. I'm just gonna roll this out. I've used a lot of wire off of it, so it might be, my worry is it's not gonna be long enough, and then I'll have to go get the bigger roll. Re-roll it back up. I'm gonna leave the fence staple gun down here, because this is where I'm gonna put the first bit of staples. I'm just using these. They're pretty good size. You can also use these for cables too. If you want to hang cable up, you can leave it out. You can leave it set out just a little bit. You know what? I'll probably leave the bucket here too. We need a little bit of weight sitting on the wire. And then let's go down this way. I got my board set up. I'll put some screws in it. So I need the angle grinder down here so I can cut the fence. This is what I do. I grab 2 scrap pieces of wood. Just put some screws in it. We'll put the wire on one board, set it on top, screw it down, and we'll sandwich it together. Oh, Baxter, should this be helping, not getting all crazy? Well, I took the gamble, and I actually did have enough wire. So that's what I'm gonna do. I got my board underneath. I'm gonna slap the other one on it. Cut it down there. I leave a little extra. You know, I waste a little extra, but I waste a tiny bit. But if it's too short, then that sucks. So I'm gonna get my board here. I use 3 screws, but I grabbed 4 in case I drop one, but then I didn't, so I'm gonna zip it down. Just be careful, well, they come out the other side, you don't want to get stuck. There you go. Now I cut it right in the middle of these squares. There's a little notch, because then I just fold the wire over so the things can't slide off. Then I shoot a staple through it. So yeah, make sure you have your safety glasses on. My glasses are safety rated. I don't have side shields, but it's all right. There you go. Like for me, you'd still be cutting with the pliers. This makes things way easier. That should be enough to do my run up that way. It's hard to determine how much is on here. You just pick it up and you can kind of feel. All right, so now what I do is, I got my yellow strap. I'll just loop it through roughly the center board. The chain's kind of long, so I may not have to. I don't have to double. I can double it up. Well, maybe I can't. These straps are pretty handy. I think I got a Tractor Supply for, well, it used to be 20 bucks. I don't know what it is now. That was a couple months ago. Let's say, will it reach without doubling it up? No, dang it. So now I gotta pull it through here, which is gonna give me a long bit. Which I can just run the come along in. Actually, I can choke it up on the chain. There we go. My little helper left a poo over here. All right, so we're ready to pull almost. Now we want to go down to the other side and we want to attach it to the post. Start pulling now, then we're just gonna waste our time. I gotta clamp these sticks. These trees are shedding. That one might have to go. Come out, it felt super nice. I'm like, oh, this is great weather. Whew, now I'm sweating. Work will do it to you. See, I accidentally pulled it a little bit past the post. That's why I give myself extra. Turn my fence gun on, there we go. Also, when you run it, make sure you got your little squares to the bottom, because then it ain't gonna keep any of the small stuff in or out. All right, this is fairly simple. I just kind of, it helps if you got help. But I'm gonna get my bottom piece down where I want it. It's always the hardest part. Whew, there we go. I'll shoot some staples in. This wire is pretty heavy. Normally I'll get it strapping down how I want it on the post and staple it. But I can't seem to get this pulled over. All I have to do is go and stand it up onto the post, hopefully. See, and it wants to curl that way. So sometimes you can do this, get it stood up on the post. Kind of help you out a bit. Oh. So barbed wire is a lot easier to run because you can just, it's one strand at a time. This is a lot of wire at a time. I need to work my way to get this board stood up. Yeah, see, it fell down a little bit. But now I got that board stood up at the end. That'll help me out. I said, this stuff's always easier with two people that know what they're doing. And some people don't know where to hold it or whatnot. Whew. All right. Okay, here we go. So now I can kind of get it where I want it, which I ended up a little bit higher. I was trying to get it as low as possible. so the dog can't get out. The fence gun makes it so much simpler because otherwise you're going to have to try to hold it, staple it. You might have to run 2 come-alongs. I'll get you in here and show you what I did. So I bent the wire over. I bent the wire over, ran it under, and stapled through both, so it can't. This loop can't pull out. Whew. Some people will cut all the way back and just have this long wire and then tie it around the pole. Now for cattle, maybe you want to do that. But if I'm running cattle in this, I'm going to run a couple strands of barbed wire on the inside. And then I'll keep them from rubbing up against it on any animals. Goats want to rub against it, all that. So if you run a couple strands of barbed wire, that deters them from rubbing it. And if they keep doing it, then just run, depending on your size of animal, 1 or 2 of electric. I got a little bit of a bow right there in it, all the way over there. But I haven't wired none of this down yet. I got to pull it down and wire it to all the posts. I may have to put one there. It's just a sharp angle will come off that porch. So now, see how we get, it's all laying up against the post. And when we pull it, you know, it's half there. And normally this corner, you'd want another one with a brace, another one with a brace. But this is just for a dog. And there's almost 200 pounds of concrete in each corner. So we're pretty decent. Because I go down about 3 foot if I can help it. But if you're running, 300 foot, you want to, every, 50 to 100 foot, you want a wooden post, maybe an H post. This depends how much pressure you're putting on it and what you're putting in it. But like I said, dog. So this is good for me. And I'm just a hair off there. And what I might do is I might come and throw a staple in the middle. But for now, it's pretty good. I didn't get my concrete flat enough right here, so my wire was up. But that's not a whole lot. Same thing there. I got to pull it down. And if you have to, you can put, more T-posts in between to pull your fence down. And if your dog's really getting out, get some rebar and cut it in like a U shape, and then you can drive it down to pull this down. All right, let's get to the other side. We'll bring, we need a fence staple gun. Get to the other side and we'll pull it. We'll check the tension. We'll shoot it in and then we'll trim the board. I think I left a little too much extra because I accidentally pulled the fence this way. But you can get yourself a cheap come-along at the store and just make sure it doesn't snag on anything. I got a lot of pressure on it. It's not moving a whole lot, so I'm going to come out and I'm going to check on the fence. So I want to pull this. Ooh, that's my problem. I got the board. I got the board down too far. I needed it flush to sit on the ground. So we got her a little high right there. All right, I'm gonna grab a Sawzall and cut that board because I don't want to have to redo all this. But here's a learn from my mistake moment. Make sure your boards are flush at the bottom of your fence. Because once we pull it tight, we're gonna shoot it. And I can't do that because it's like 6 inches off the ground. But as you can see, it's starting to flatten up. I'm gonna walk along and stand it up, and it'll go against the post even more as we get it. And you just wanna check it. You don't want it to be super tight. but it gets stuck on the little tits of the T-post. There we go. Pretty decent. I don't remember where the Sawzall's at. I always keep one of these folded up saws in my fence stuff. Woo, I'm out of breath. It's hot already. Dang, coming right from summer so fast. But anyway, need a little more tension, but I end up trimming the bottom off. So the fence is towards the bottom. Put a little more tension on it. Check it a couple more times. Like I said, you don't want to go too crazy. Which is kind of it's pretty tight. I'm just checking to make sure it ain't stuck on any of the fence posts, which would be keeping the tension off. All right, so we got a pretty decent. Now I'm gonna shoot the staples in. See, normally I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna fold this wire over. But for now, I'll probably shoot a few staples in on the other side of these little twisty things, because you don't want the fence to slide in your staple. I'm just shooting on an angle, trying to get, let's see if I can show you. I'm trying to get as much of the pieces of wire as I can. I went right through, so I got like the whole intersection. I got two. I missed that one and that one. I mean, it's let's see if I can get you in here. You kind of press it in, and boom. So I got the whole intersection. And your heaviest wire is gonna be your bottom and your top, real thick. So, and that's it. And it'll just be going along, pushing it up, stepping on the bottom so the fence is on the ground, and running your fence ties all the way down. I mean, if you want, you could run all wood, but that would be pretty expensive. It'd be, if you use the smaller post, it'd be $17 a post. And the big posts that I use are almost 20. And I think these are $6 now. Haven't bought any in a little while. It's just ridiculous. So that's it. I'm gonna staple this up and we're gonna cut it. And I'm gonna take a little break and drink some water. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna shoot the bottom of this big wire. Oop. That is the one downside to this gun. You go through staples. Oh. Box of 1,000 staples is $100. But man, that makes life easy. I'm afraid cutting wheels, they're really not doing too bad. I'm gonna fold these guys over. The fence should not slip. I got a good bit of staples in there. Where's my hammer? There we go. I don't want to do all of them and then, have the fence slide. And that would just be a problem. All right. There we go. I mean, you can take the tension off of that. I didn't bother. I got my bottom one down here. I'm gonna, it's concrete. It's in the dang way. Just make sure when you do your concrete, you kind of get it flat. There we go. Double it up and bam. All right. And that's how I run my wire. As you can see, I put a lot of staples, but they're all doubled up. It's good to go. Got it stretched or fairly tight. Now I'll come along, I'll just step down here, figure out where I want it. If I want it on top of one of these, keep from sliding up or down. I'm gonna wire that and I work my way down. And then come on over, get it in here. You wanna get her pushed up against there, find your bottom. Sometimes you can't make that because it'll lift it up. But to do it fast, I put one at the bottom, one on the top, one in the middle. Then I'll come back and do two. I usually do 5. It just depends what I'm keeping in here. Let's see, I need one down here, and I need one about here to keep it from bowing out like it is, and then one up top. See how has that bow? If you put one in there, you're pretty decent. So. All right. If you guys want to see the tying process, I'll do a video on that. Well, this is the stretching. We did the posts. So that you guys are going to be running fence all the time. We did order a Mini X, little Chinese guy. I'm not sure when it'll be here because we did it yesterday. So we'll be doing videos on that because all that's got to get cleared. The fence line's got to get cleared. All this down all the way over the side, all the way out, needs to be cleared out. This is that invasive privet hedge, and you can't see it yet, but there's kudzu. It pops up all through there. And then there's an acre or two right there that needs to be cleared out, and that car needs to be gone. If you see one of the videos, we were clearing that out. We found that in that pile. So much needs to be done, and then we're going to build our container shop back there. So stay tuned. We have a million projects. Maybe we'll do a gate hanging video. We're going to get a little 6-foot gate for there, so the mower can fit in here, because the 4-foot gate, I believe, is not 4 foot. It's just like 2x4s. It's 2x4, but it's not technically 2x4. So we'll just upgrade it to the 6-foot gate, and I'll be able to fit both mowers in there. All right, guys, enjoy your Easter. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Stay safe.